Okay, let's go to another game going on the Sunday card. Boy, one that everybody's going to be talking about. Broncos at Seattle. Seattle opened 4.5 up to 5 now. The total of 48.5. You know, here's two non-conference teams, but boy, have these teams, we've seen a lot of these teams playing each other. They played in February in the Super Bowl. They played again in August in preseason, and now here in September. You got the unstoppable offense against the powerhouse defense. For the Broncos, they're 2-0. They opened the season with 3 of 4 games at home. So this is the only road game during that stretch. The offense looked pretty good, scoring 31 on the Colts and beat the Chiefs 24-17. A lot of yards, but not a lot of points. And the thing about some of the stats, when you compare from a year ago, even though it's only week 2, some of the similarities are there from last year. For instance, the Broncos are 11th in the NFL in passing, 248 yards per game. That'll most likely go up. And the defense, which is healthier now than a year ago and has struggled at times against the pass last year. That was their big weakness. Well, right now they're 30th in the NFL against the pass, just over 300 yards per game. They faced a conservative offense in the Chiefs. They gave up 11 of 16 on third down. So I still have to wonder how good or improved this Denver defense is. And Hollis, if you like to play totals, boy, Denver's been a no-brainer. They're on a 20, 10, and 1 run over the total. And since Peyton Manning got here, 24, 13, and 2 over the total. So who do you see the edge here with? Maybe the home field, the underdog, or the total?
Well, I like the home team. They've actually gone to a perfect script of what I thought right when I was looking at their schedule, when I first looked at it during the summer. Seattle, the defending world champion, they're going to play good for game 1, and then traditionally in game 2, there's always a letdown after the ring ceremony or lowering the banner or something like that. Then they hit the road to San Diego. I took San Diego plus the points, and there wasn't any problem, so I'm going back home, and I'm going to pound Seattle. I have not a lot of respect for Denver. The way they lost 43-8 in the Super Bowl last year, that rings, with me. Denver, they can't run the ball. Last week, the Chiefs were 11-5 on third down, so they can't stop you. And it seems like every time Manning throws a touchdown, it can be negated by a bad secondary for Denver. When you look at the Seattle side, everybody knows what they have. They have Wilson. Now, look at his options. He can hand off to Marshawn Lynch. He can do a safe route to Sidney Rice, keep that balance. You got a speedy wide receiver in Percy Harvin. Their tops against the pass on their defense. I think San Diego was taking a shot at Richard Sherman last week, saying that, they had full coverage on him. They only threw the ball to his side 3 times. I mean, this guy commands a whole half of the field of respect. They're 39-18-1 against the spread in the last 58 games. Here's how I look at it. I think Seattle completely not only dominates on the field, on both sides of the ball, they also win the turnover battle, and that's how they're going to win big one more time, playing Denver.
So you're looking at a carbon copy then of the Super Bowl somewhere?
Pretty much so.
Okay. It is tough to go against Seattle with their tremendous spread run. This team is coming off a loss, too, which they haven't done a lot of the last 2 years, 30-20 at San Diego. And I mentioned how Denver's numbers are similar to from a year ago. Also, Seattle on offense, they're 4th in the NFL in rushing, over 200 yards per game, but 25th in passing. So it's still a run-first team. But San Diego just played a physical game and decided to come right at them and throw the football. Won the game 30-21. Seattle gave up 377 total yards, including 276 passing. They are 13-3 against the spread after a spread loss, Seattle is. And they also allowed San Diego to go 10 of 17 on third down. Seattle just 3 of 8 on third down. So certainly a Seattle team that doesn't want to get behind. We not have the potential to come back yet. And San Diego dominated the time of possession, over 42-18 in time of possession. So that's a key that they want to turn around for this week. And we mentioned how the Lions can be a team that's one team at home and then different on the road. Seattle, Zach, is kind of like that, too. I guess we can say they're a very good road team, but they're absolutely unstoppable, it seems, at home, both straight up and against the spread of late.
Yeah, I do. It is true. But with both of these teams, I think we might have, last week, what we saw in both teams might have been a little bit of a look ahead to this matchup. Obviously, Seattle lost in Denver. They didn't cover when they had a 21-10 lead at halftime. Very, very sloppy second half against Kansas City. And they were really lucky to even pull out that win. Kansas City missed a field goal, and then they got stopped for a game-tying touchdown in the final minute. So both of those teams maybe been looking ahead to this matchup. But I do think San Diego maybe unveiled a little bit of a blueprint on how to play against Seattle, similar to how Seattle unveiled a blueprint on how to beat Denver in the Super Bowl. We've seen teams press up on the Denver Broncos wide receivers. They're kind of stopping those quick screens that we've seen them get away with Demaryius Thomas and Julius Thomas. And really with Denver, I think the reason why we're seeing some of these games go under lately with them is because they're missing Wes Welker, obviously, but a key loss was letting Eric Decker go to the New York Jets. He's done very well in his first two games, had a touchdown each week, and Denver's offense just has not been the same, either with the running game with Noshan Marino in Miami and with Decker gone. So I think we're going to see an under in this game for two reasons, the offensive personnel, and because I think Denver's going to try to run the clock a little bit and try to keep the time of possession in their hands like San Diego did. And we're going to go ahead and play the under here.
Okay, well, I don't like to look at Denver under the total, but I will as well in this one. You know, Denver was banged up defensively late last year, and they're certainly healthy now, and they have some new additions, including the cornerback Aqib Talib. He actually had a pick six last week late in the game, which iced it until it was called back from a penalty. And so far, the Denver offense not quite as explosive as far as scoring points as a year ago, and they're losing the possession battle. Meanwhile, we all know about Seattle's defense. Tremendous talent, tremendous coaching staff. They're not going to be in a good mood after getting pushed around and losing last week, so they're going to bring a phenomenal defensive effort again to this one. And Seattle's 8-4 under the total, so I'm going to take a small lean towards this game being under the total on Sunday.